Today we're going to talk about another Fluke multimeter or a multimeter series. This particular series is called the 170 series. The 3 meters in that series are a 175, which is similar to the one that you're looking at now, with the exception that it does not have the capability to measure temperature, and it does not have a backlight. The 177 is the next one up in the series. That particular one also does not have the ability to measure temperature, but it does have a backlight. This particular one, which is the Fluke 179, has both a backlight feature and the ability to measure temperature. This is the one we're going to go through. The reason for that is if you have either of the other two, either the 175 or 179, we will go through all of the steps that it takes for you to be able to measure functions in that one as well. First, let's look at the AC function. This is basic AC. You would connect your leads to the both positive volt input and the negative, and put the function switch to the AC function, and simply turn the meter on. Let me set up the calibrator here for 1 volt at 60 hertz. So here we are measuring 1 volt AC at 60 hertz. If you want to find out the frequency that it is measuring, again, you will note over here there's a little yellow HZ, which stands for hertz. If you push the yellow button, it will change it, and now you can read the frequency. This is the same for all of the 3 levels of meters. This is certainly good for those of you who may be using generators. You can check the frequency of the generator and set it while you're measuring the AC output as well. Next function, DC, basic DC functionality. I'm going to set the calibrator to 12 volts, which is a fairly common type of measurement that one takes measuring around automobiles or something like that. Again, these are auto ranging. It will measure whatever it is that you have connected to it, anywhere from less than a volt down in the millivolts, all the way up to 1,000 volts. Speaking of millivolts, we'll go to millivolt DC. I'll put in, let's see, 10 millivolts. Again, it auto ranges to 10 millivolts. We can change that to 100. It will go up to 400 millivolts in this particular function. If you notice, there is a little temperature, looks like a thermometer over here. I'll unplug the inputs for a moment and plug in a thermocouple probe. And if you hit the, this is, by the way, only for a 179, but if you hit the little yellow button for the temperature, it will measure the temperature. Temperature in the lab right now looks like it's about 74.6 degrees. If you would like to measure that in Celsius, all you have to do is hit the range button. It will change it to Celsius. Okay. Let's go on to the ohms function. Connect back to the calibrator again. If you're in the field, you would just connect your leads to the both the common and the volt ohm diode check input terminals there, and you would be able to read resistance. Let's set it up for 100 ohms. set up for 100 ohms. Let me keep the backlight on. Let's see, we'll go down to 10 ohms, down to 1 ohm, and it will measure there's 10K, 100K, there's a meg ohm, 10 meg. When you get over 10 meg ohms, I think it may be 40 meg ohms. It won't measure anything over this particular model. But up to 10 meg ohms, it's good. If you'd also notice, there is a little capacitance signal. So let me put the calibrator on capacitance here, if you'll bear with me. Okay, to put it into the capacitance mode, as I said, you just press the little yellow button. It takes it over to the capacitance function. This ought to be 10 microfarads from the calibrator, 100 microfarads from the calibrator. Again, if you were in the field, all you would do is just connect your leads from the 2 input jacks on the right to whatever capacitor you're trying to measure. Okay, let's go on to the continuity function here for a second. It will measure continuity anything below about 25 ohms. If you get to less than 25 ohms, it will beep. You're hearing it beep at the moment. Let's see. That's 10 ohms, and it beeps. It'll beep all the way down, of course, the closer you get to a short. But when you get up over about 25 ohms, I'll input 40. Actually, it looks like it's going okay at 40. I'll input 100 ohms, and the continuity, it no longer reads continuity. This is also the function, by the way, that you check a diode. You would connect your leads again exactly the same way they are now. Go to one side or the other of the diode, and there have been other. We have tested diodes in other videos where you make sure that you have the leads on the set the proper way on the diode, and it will beep if it's a good PN junction. It will not beep if it's a bad PN junction or if the diode is open. Let's go quickly over to the milliamps and amp functions. We'll measure some current here. I think I told you in another video we use yellow wires for the positive side of current in the lab and blue for the negative side. So if you're going to measure less than 400 milliamps, you would put the your positive lead, and in certain cases that may be red for you, in the 400 milliamp slot, the black one in the common slot. Set the calibrator up. We'll let it output 100 milliamps. You'll notice a little right above the sine wave line for milliamps. There's the DC light sign. So if you push the button, it'll measure DC. So right at the moment, the calibrator's outputting 100 milliamps DC. So let's check the AC. Same way, you would not change anything. The only thing you would do is press the yellow button to get it into the AC mode. So we will output 100 milliamps at 60 hertz. There, you noticed we have the yellow button is pressed, which is giving us hertz. We press it again, it will measure, in this case, AC milliamps. The last function on this particular one is the amp function. Essentially the same exact setup. You would change your positive lead over where it says 10 amps. If you're going to measure anything up more than 400 milliamp, put it in there. We will allow it to continue to do AC amps and just increase it up to an amp. So there's 1 amp AC. Again, if you want to measure, if you want to see what the frequency is, press the button, and it should give you the frequency. There we go. Again, we're outputting 1 amp at 60 hertz. The only other thing that we haven't done is to check DC. Again, you press the button once, giving you DC amps. We'll change it to 1 amp DC. And there's 1 amp DC. So those are basically the functions of the 179. The 175 and 177 are similar. As I said, the 175 doesn't have the temperature function, and it doesn't have a backlight. The 177 does have the backlight, but not the temperature function. The 179 has both the backlight and the temperature function. These are excellent meters. The only thing that I would say that one would have to be careful about is that you will notice that these meters do not have a case gasket. So I would certainly urge those of you who are using these to make sure that if you are outside, you are protecting it. They don't do well when they're rained on. We do get meters in the office of this particular series where rain or other water has entered through the areas around the soft key modules, and it tends to corrode the board below it. But if you're inside, in a garage or in your home, this is an excellent meter. They're not nearly as expensive as some of the higher end Fluke meters. As long as you keep them dry, this is a great meter, a great all-around meter. If you like what you see and you'd like for us to do other meters or clamp meters, just leave us a suggestion or a comment, and we'll try to be able to, or we'll try to get to those as time goes on. Thanks so much.